Hey guys, I'm back. I've got your milk, special edition now at extra lumps. Today we're gonna do something that should have been done a long time ago. Finishing the Borderlands trilogy without picking anything up. For this run I'm playing on a console because I thought my computer wasn't powerful enough to run Borderlands 3 and record it. Well, the problem was apparently not that my laptop was GPU or CPU limited, but held back by my slow hard drive. So the recording still got cold every now and then. Now let's get over the rules. Rule number 1. I can only use items I receive as mission rewards that for some reason are now displayed like this instead of in a reward screen. But fear not, fair maiden, I will show you the stats of every item I get. Rule number 2. I cannot use my action skill, perks, melee attacks or vehicle weapons. Enemies who just can't resist the siren call of my bumper will be noted as acceptable casualties. And rule number 3. With the rules shamelessly exposed on a public notice board, it was time to choose a character. I chose Zane for his luck of the Irish, which hopefully offsets my bad luck. My Uvo Javo dropped me off at Texture Pop-In Station where a familiar face with a strange voice was waiting for me. He gifted me a Game Boy. I was very grateful that he also included the receipt. I traded it in for a cherry one. For its many health benefits, of course. Yes, I eat cherries, how can you tell? What I'm less grateful for is Claptrap forcing a hard choice on me. Take the gun, fail the challenge but be able to continue as if nothing happened, or upload a 2-minute video with a very anticlimactic answer. Can you beat Borderlands 3 with only quest rewards? No. Drinking some spiced coffee gave me a prescient vision of a hard drive full of recordings. So, I picked up that filthy gun and dropped it immediately, and washed my hands for good measure. I punked on the punks in the courtyard. Then this happens. Your Honor, my client pleads 5-second rule. The first boss in my path was Shiv. I confronted him head on to avoid him in my back. Thank God I can move well downed. With my not Halo energy sword I cut him down, which rewarded me with a grenade mod. Lilith wanted me to free the captain of the Sun Smashers. Very good, very nice, but first I helped Marcus with some electrical engineering and got head as a reward. Which did not in any shape or form help me with the main quest at hand, but it still was nice. Aha, I now get why Lilith wants him. Beard, thick, six-pack, chiseled, leg day, not skipped. Pathfinding, improvable. The route back to the Siren was paved with my bodies by skag road workers. With Captain Underpants delivered, hacking chonker acquainted and car appropriated, it was time to get me some quest reward goodness. Gearbox quality of life to quest log in an interesting way, by not having it show what kind of reward the quest grants upon completion. I guess we have to trust on the Irish luck and hope that we will come across one soon. Finding Claptrap a new head. The first 4 headgear options were easy, but the 5th one not so much. The second dish was outside of arm's reach, the cliff was too steep to climb and the rules were not in my favor. Maybe a grenade can reach it. It's a real shame that cherries don't cure a weak throwing arm. Let's just try another side quest. Kill the holy dump truck. Yeah, this one also doesn't work. Car door beats plasma sword and foot kicks face. Vaughn messaged me that he had a quest, but first. Kobe bit higher. Kobe with a running start. Shit, I guess I have to buy more. I'm not a big fan of all the changes Gearbox made, but being able to teleport to your car is a godsend. Kobe from another building. Kobe rock. Kobe with math. Yes, finally. Oh, there's a third one. Spoiler alert, I didn't get this one. Not for a lack of trying, but because it's impossible.
Ha, you can't even throw right in those computer games.
After that blamage, I picked up Skag Dog Days, which was doable without a given gun. Not easy, but doable. At least the first part. 2 hours into this run and I still have no gun. Maybe Mouthpiece is easier than these stupid side quests. He is not, I can't come close, and not only because of his terrible body odor, there were just not enough grenades and syringes in the arena. My viable options were dwindling. The fear that this challenge may not be possible haunted my mind, but I mustn't give up. Holy dump truck seemed the least horrible challenge to overcome. Coming straight at him was not a good tactic, but did grant me to hit him in the bum. No, Modern Warfare wasn't gonna cut it, I had to return to Monk. My plan was simple. Climb all the way on top of the stacks, ground slam on top of him and repeat until death. Oh yeah, I forgot to specify his, not mine. Finally, after 3 hours I had a gun. The fabulous butt plug. With it, the world is my brown starfish. First thing on the now I have a gun agenda was that stupid final dish. See, Dad, my throwing arm wasn't the problem, it was the lack of gun. Now that I've acquired the taste, I was hungry for more quests. The killing of the main course was kinda irritating, until I remembered rock beats gearbox pathfinding. Got a sub, now I need to get high enough to dom. The same applied to the submachine gun I got from killing the Undertaker. The golden statue that immortalized Vaughn's gains got me a shield. Now only words can hurt me, if I was able to wear it. I wasn't, so Loudmouth's bullets still hurt, but now I had the means to return the favor. Vault key found and with same day delivery brought to Lilith. Red pilled someone for a sniper and got the Siren Sisters reunited for a road trip. With some of my gear holes filled, the enemies obstructing my way to Lilith weren't too bad. The most damage I received was from the blisters forming on my hands due to the constant reloading. Lilith needed a little pick-me-up after a video of her losing her balance and tattoos was uploaded to livestream fails. We escaped to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by e-girls.
Space!
For back having.
I got your back, Commander.
I got me a shield. My pistol with connect the enemies function worked quite well, unless it ran out of ammo or was up against sweaty pyromanes. Atlas shrugged while hearing my problems, but was willing to help if I supported him with his little lover's pet with Fontaine. To bring down Fontaine futuristics, we got Zero. Our first target was the brains behind the operation. For some reason, Zero was still running Windows 8, so high time for an upgrade or downgrade as long as it's not Windows 8. The freezing was just egregious. My gear was slowly becoming outdated. Not wanting to do any side quest, I adopted the mindset of spray and pray that there are more bullets around here somewhere.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Number 3. As a thank you for helping, Zero tried to pawn off his used second-hand non-reward screen sniper. I said no, I wanted something better and more practical, so he proposed Haiku Mastery. 575 is the way. Must it make sense? No. Upgrade opens doors. Gigamind makes his entree. His friends and drones too. My shield cannot hold. Their attacks make body fold. Zero is a bro. Paid brain back in kind. Death by 1,000 bullets. Matter over mind. My work here is done. Atlas shows next story plays. But first, cup of joe. At the Teenus a lot of collapsing took place, both Banks and me. So much so that Ava took me crypt shopping. I can't wait to show it off in the sequel show to Cribs. MTV Crypt. Hello MTV and welcome to my crypt. Look at this is a real mahogany coffin. None of that plywood shit. Captain Trant was a real piece of work with a huge ego slapping me with his huge balls around the arena. He was so cocksure that flaming him didn't work. What did work was corrosion! Slowly eroding his self-confidence away until he implodes from an ego vacuum. Maya, after spending some time with Lilith in the last game, now also has an iridium addiction. This is the last time that I will fuel someone's drug addiction. Yay, vault piece. Before we go back to the ship, I want to get some holy spirits to make the coffee I got like my nationality, Irish. And hey, I even got a nice shield with it. Lilith thanked me for getting her rock buddy to join us and gave me an SMG. After cleaning up all the needles around Sanctuary, which was a good start for my anti-drug crusade, and giving Marcus a goulash that was so irradiated that even the SMG I received from it was that too. Ryan invited me to the moon. It was not made out of cheese and there were no cows. Only too many Medowan soldiers to make me dislike the moon even more. My Chernobyl gun worked quite well if I had enough bullets to feed it, which was not often the case. My bullets ran out faster than a father going out for milk after hearing that his son likes Sonic.
Oh no.
Even with the infighting I created between Melowan and the Calypsos, it still took me 2 hours to get to the ball. When I remembered that I had an electric SMG, the ball wasn't too bad. Shame it took my mind 2 deaths to, oh yeah, that information. A handheld microwave was my reward. Battle of Rapture. The streets littered with bodies. Zero has vanished. Bloody null on wall. Atlas men are all caught up. Betrayal maybe.
Your entitled sweat will be mine, just like your blood. Prepare to die, Ryan.
That's one too many syllables there, bub.
This will be the end. The haiku joke is too stretched, like a Protestant. Karagawa Jr., embarrassed that he couldn't count, split himself up, but forgot to kill people while doing it, so no eternal Horcrux life. For saving his life, Atlas rewarded me with company merchandise. Maya came along to fight the first Vault Beast. Thanks to Captain Trant, I mastered the art of dodging balls. Even his impressive monkey barring speed did not throw me off my game, though his Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Armageddon spell kinda did do that. Now I have to lick this gobstopper all over again to his last collar. For those who never had the determination to finish a gobstopper or toverball, the core contains holy light. The vault was like a bad museum. I could look, but not touch. Maya turned into an after-the-fact biography. Very sad, but I had to go to Eden 6, so maybe she's better off. I did get her submachine gun, which was pretty neat. Thoughts and prayers, of course. Eden 6, the place where I don't know if the frame drops are caused by the recording or if the game is just Amber Turding the bed. Wainwright asked me to free his soon-to-be hubby. Brick obviously had some unresolved issues with me leaving him to die in a fiery explosion in Borderlands 2. Tiny Tina's pizza was so vile it blew up a door. It would have nuked the whole place if she also put pineapple on it. My guns were fairly decent, my shield was not. For the uninitiated onlooker it must have seemed like I drank 3 bottles of NyQuil, with my spending every other minute on the ground routine. The Warden was a very emotional boss fight. Seeing that young bug grow from stepping stone job to grave, like that flying baby from that one Xbox ad. Hammer Unlocked rewarded me with a nice sniper. After making my way through the intestines of the smallest house owned by an online socialist and finding a rare LP, I got an ice grenade. These guys are some cool dudes. I helped Clay with liberating a town. The reward was head and money. Usually one gives money and receives head, but this time I got both. Home Alone 3, Kevin gets sucked into the cold vacuum of space and the Germans rejoice. I went to get some iced tea for the ship and fought a Gundam who was no match for the bullet-spitting reincarnation of my dead friend. Plus a snowball to ice cap this off. Clay tried to force me to use his gross gun to find hidden stuff. I said no, we Irish solve things with explosives. I didn't care much for the next swamp part. First, my computer stopped recording cause holy shit 1080p 60 frames a second takes up quite a bit of hardware space. After a non-essential application purge of my computer, I could continue to die. The fight against Purple Ant-Man was hard. The need to split my attention between not dying, shooting and keeping my rectum shut was difficult. But in the end he was dead and my booty remained unplundered, as the pirates would say. After doing an Aurelia pre-sequel playthrough a while back, I expected a warm welcome. But instead of that, I got a cold shoulder and cold spears, cold twister and various other cold things lobbed at my head. 45 minutes had passed and Gerda still didn't show up, so I guess I have to save myself by doing some side quests. I collected some rocks, not the drugs kind, but the erotic kind. The Nerf to Oblivion Pie Bomb was my reward. Killing myself for the entertainment of others was a good idea. Got a really good gun out of it, but I should have asked the respawn stations not to reconstruct my eardrums cause. Freeing Hammerlock's prison boyfriend got me a funky revolver. Some feud that was decided by whomever was closest landed me a shield. Even though I couldn't equip half of what I received, I was done with side quest and was ready to face the Snow Queen. Yes, I am a strong independent boy who don't need no Gerda to save him. I will write my own ending to this fairy tale. And then Kai, after dying one last time to a snow cyclone, shot down the Snow Queen and drank reindeer milk to celebrate. Level 26 was reached and I could finally equip something other than a pistol, sub or sniper. The graveyard was not difficult. His guardians were way more dangerous, to be honest. He was very hungry and ate a lot of my bullets, but went back to sleep without making too much of a ruckus. Tennis sucked the beast dry so Tyreen couldn't, and now Tyreen kidnapped Tennis. Very childish behavior if you ask me. And now we could finally leave this swamp ass land behind. I don't get why Shrek likes it. They're wet, smelly, uninhabitable and I just want to polder them. My backpack was quite full, so I sold off some stuff. I thought I would catch more for only a slightly used butt plug. Maybe if I was a Mara it would net me a higher price. Home sand home. Pandora, where the Calypso twins hold Tennis. Upon arrival they did a little bit of Econet bullying.
Why did you say that name? Martha, why did you say that name? Why did you say that name?
Saving our work acquaintance Tennis had a very high priority, but not high enough for me not to help Best Team depopulate the greatest Titanfall 2 map. To enter Carnivora you need to offer some nice wheels. Shame, my right only got the one wheel. Now I have to appropriate a car that isn't suffering from monoraileritis. We are looking for that supreme plural wheel action. Unfortunately the owner really didn't want to part with it. Sure, fine, no parting will be done. Instead we let the car pass on to me when Big Donnie is ready for the great beyond after a fulfilling life. Or a shallow grave after eating too many bullets. The machine god was pleased with the multi-wheel chariot. May I be so lucky to see it again in Valhalla. After a quick quiz whiz, it was time to face this behemoth. It did not have pumped up kicks, but it still managed to outrun a lot of my bullets with the leisurely pace it was going. 20 minutes I followed this hunk of junk around the sandpit before it had enough of me tickling its belly and led me into its mechanical body, where I was promptly recognized and dealt with by its immune system. But like a good virus, I adapted and learned. I transformed into something that could beat the immune system, something that could bring the world to its knees. My world domination was halted by the Agonizer 9000, my Iceland. It beat me without mercy and killed the ones essential for my survival by burning and flattening them. I spent an hour headbutting this Sid from Toy Story 1 creation with no result. My gear was just too weak. But then I heard a spectral voice from the ether whisper in my ear. So I fixed the generator, got Pa out of the big bad skag, blew up the shitty dam, did a Ubisoft climbing puzzle, I killed some bandits and finally got my hands on Daddy's gun, which I can't use. For fixing net neutrality I got a not so good sniper. Together with Mordecai I attended a celebration of life. I did not break her cake eating record because I couldn't find the last piece. And for anyone who doesn't believe that birds aren't drones operated by the government, well, see here, their AI is breaking. Wake up, sheeple. With the deletion of a piñata, the quest was ended and I got the amazing grace bestowed upon me. It gave me the hope that I could overcome the Agonizer. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost but now I'm found. Tennis cracked all the crack rocks and my Siren Theory headcanon. But as a consolation prize I got explosive Beyblades. After getting Vought a new whip for a shield and playing the sequel to Touching Grass, Touching Water Purifiers for another shield, it was time to barge into the Cathedral of Cringe. But before that I need to say goodbye to everyone. Bye, bye, bye bye, 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 bye bye, bye bye, bye, bye bye. At first I gave the COV my full attention. I gave everyone the lead that they wanted. But it just took up so much of my time that I started strolling past everyone, until I reached Troy's lean supply chamber. I of course destroyed it. My war on drugs covers both friend and foe. And like a real life drugs fiend he started leeching off family. His boss fight was a visual fever dream. It tested my abilities as well as my base PS4 that I duct taped to my desk because it sounded like it wants to take off. I don't know even what half the particle effects do and from which side I got down from, but thank God for the government keeping an eye on me. Killing their drones were the pick-me-ups I needed to last long enough to see the bottom of his health bar. With Troy off drugs and off life, Tyreen threatened to destroy Pandora on account of there being already too many sci-fi sand planets, and skedaddled on over to Necrodefeo. I didn't care much for the local wildlife. They, in turn, didn't care much for my bullets. The first Vault Hunter was shorter than I expected. I don't know if he was tall and the stress of Vault hunting made him shrink or that being 5'11" makes you more risk-taking. Seeing that he had a wife, I think it's the former rather than the latter. The shock weapons I had amassed finally reached their full potential of not being suboptimal. General Trond was generally easier than his brother, with a bigger arena and his backwards way of fighting, exposing the huge crit canister on his back. It was the perfect position to grace him with a quick death. With the eradication of the Great House Trond, it was time to finish this run. Tyreen fused with the destroyer from Borderlands 1 into a monster, because Lilith didn't feel like putting in the effort to put a permanent stop to the destroyer. If I had a nickel for every time Lilith didn't finish off a big bad so that others have to deal with her laziness, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it only happened twice. Tyreen, who looked now like some eldritch monster made out of chewing gum commonly found under school tables, hit hard, really hard, going to a school reunion and finding out you did nothing with your life hard. But thanks to her shitty personality there were enough flies orbiting her for some quick revives. And thanks to my previous experience with Shadow, And thanks to my previous experience with Shadow, And thanks to my previous experience with Shadow of the Colossus, I knew how to control my anger after falling off a giant thing for the 10th time. In the end, I managed to hold on to the monstrosity's back, using my saving grace to its fullest potential and landed the critical bullets needed to bring the beast down. So yes, you can beat Borderlands with only quest rewards. With this, I'm finishing the Can You Beat with only quest rewards Borderlands trilogy. Thank you everyone for making it till the end. It feels great to finally be back. Sorry that I was gone for such a long time. New videos will be arriving shortly, so like, subscribe and stay tuned.